my husband. He was 76 years old when he passed away. About 4 or 5 years before Wayne passed, he started having strokes and different diabetes came into play, a lot of health issues. Then in September, he had a lot of difficult, and he went into the hospital on a Sunday, and he passed away on a Wednesday. My son, Wayne Jr., was 50 years old when he passed. It's been 2 years, May the 7th. He went down to the basement. He has a room downstairs. And so when he wasn't up that morning, I went down and I found him dead. And I lost him that day. And it was very hard because of the devastating of walking into something that you weren't even prepared for.
Overwhelmingly, the most significant loss that anyone could experience is the loss of a loved one or a close friend. And that bereavement grief is the kind of grief that often needs support. Many times people have a good support group. They have good coping skills that they've learned from previous losses in their life. But when they lose a loved one, oftentimes those are inadequate, and the grief mounts, and it's compounded by the additional losses that come from the loss of a loved one. At Genesis Grief Support, we provide grief counseling for people who are looking for that one-on-one help. We will also provide family counseling for the whole family, all ages. We also provide grief support groups. In grief counseling, you're meeting one-on-one with a grief specialist, and you're getting that specialist support. When you're in a grief support group, you're getting the support of not only that grief support specialist, but also you're getting support from others who are on a similar grief journey, and they're supporting one another. And so the grief support group is a great way to learn how other people are navigating their journey with grief. And then we also offer grief education courses. One of our courses is a basic 4-session course over 4 weeks. We offer it each month, rotated around the Quad Cities. And the grief education course is called Understanding Grief's Journey. And that's really what we're trying to do, is educate people so that they understand what grief really is and how they can navigate that grief in healthy ways. Initially, when clients come in for counseling or when they come to a support group or even an education class, there's so much pain in their life, and the pain manifests itself primarily visually through how their demeanor is, as well as the emotions come out through tears or through the anger that they express about the loss that they've had in their life. And so the grief is very palatable. It's very easy to see that this person is in distress. And through the grief support that we provide, we're finding that people are understanding why they're feeling the way they're feeling, why they're overwhelmed or frustrated, confused, why it hurts so bad. And in understanding why they are grieving and why they're having these natural and normal physical and mental and emotional responses to the significant loss in their life, they're learning more about themselves. And then they begin to learn ways to navigate their grief in a healthy way. And you can see change immediately. The counsel that we provide and the encouragement that a grief support group would provide, we're able to help people handle their grief so that they can get on with their lives and be back to full health again. Pat started in our grief support group Pat never came in for grief counseling. She's never gone to a grief education course. She heard about our grief support group through a friend, and she's been attending the grief support group for some time. And one of the great things about a grief support group is how over the course of time, as a person attends, you see them move from being at a place where their needs need to be met, to then finding hope and help and healing, and coming to a place where they want to help others. And that's the change that I've seen in Pat.
I have seen that I have been able to deal with the loss. I get stronger every day. The counseling definitely helps because you're with other people that are dealing with the loss of their loved ones. And it's like a chain, a link, that you all are going down this road together. And I just think that it's a wonderful thing that Genesis has offered. Thank God that they have this program that they offer to people free of charge.
We don't want people to just survive, we want them to thrive in life. And we don't want them to just deal with grief, we want them to find healing. And that's what we're all about at the Grief Support Cooperative. When you offer your support, your financial support to the Genesis Grief Support Cooperative through Genesis Philanthropy, you're giving not only to support grief that you may experience and that your family and friends, neighbors and coworkers may experience, but you're also giving to future generations. Your children are going to be at a place where they face grief. They're going to face grief when you die, and you're going to want to have that support in place for them. The most important thing is that we not give up, that we keep supporting the Grief Support Cooperative so that we can help more people and help future generations.